So, we are here today at the CMSC 2016 with Mindy Eisenberg, who is the author of a book on yoga for multiple sclerosis patients. Mindy, can you show our readers your book,
Sure.
please? This is Mindy, and I'm Carol Dirtson. I work for Multiple Sclerosis News Today. Mindy, I have a couple questions to ask you about your book, if you don't mind. First of all, what was your motivation? How did you get here? Why did you write it?
We have classes called Yoga Moves MS. We've been doing this for about 11 years, and our students said they come to class once a week and they said, well, I don't know what to do at home. I can't remember what we do. I need instructions, something visual. And so we thought about videos, and then we thought about the book, and we thought the book made sense first, and we're now doing videos that go along with the book. Okay. So it's something they can have at home. At the same time, we're finding out that rehab professionals, physical therapists and occupational therapists, anyone who's involved with wellness with MS is interested in this resource.
Right. Now, you're in Michigan. You live in Michigan, so you teach these classes.
We teach in Michigan. Yeah,
we teach in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. So, this book is 400 pages. 400 pages.
It's a lot of pictures.
And that's what I was going to say.
It's not pure reading. There's pictures.
There's copy, and there's a lot of illustrations, a lot of photos of the asanas, the yoga moves.
Oh,
themselves.
You know the word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Asana. So how long did it take you to write this book?
This baby is about 5 years old.
Wow.
The development was about 5 years. It took about 7 photo shoots, and meeting with my editor, we became very, very close, duking out how to make the instructions as simple and as clear as possible. And then adaptive yoga is very creative.
Yeah, tell me about that. What is adaptive yoga?
So adaptive yoga means you can take one pose and vary it in several different ways. For instance, a traditional warrior pose is done standing, but people who cannot stand for a long period of time can also do the pose seated in a chair or possibly lying down on their back with their feet up at the wall. So it involves a lot of creativity. Mm-hmm. We use chairs as props, we use yoga blocks and straps and blankets to help people feel comfortable in a pose. So we're working with whatever ability somebody has.
Yes.
And they can get the same benefits with the pose, with these props and modifications and adaptations.
Wow. Yeah, I saw, as I was looking at the book, I saw the straps and I saw the blocks, and I thought that's very helpful. Even for those of us, who don't have MS and maybe get tired, that it's helpful.
Absolutely. The book was created for people with MS because that's who we work with, but we find that almost anyone can benefit from this. People who work at a desk a lot, there's a sequence in there for, computer break. Let's say someone's in a bed before they get up in the morning, there's a sequence for that, how to wake up and, start your day.
So you do sunrise asanas?
Yes, exactly, before you leave the bed.
Ah, well, see, That's what I need, because sometimes I leave the bed and it's like, oh gosh, I am this aching already,
Exactly, exactly. So there's a video that
So there's stretches, is that what it is?
Yep. There's stretches and movements, some of it. Yoga is very much stretching. People think of it as stretching, but it's also strength building.
Yes.
And the real benefit comes in with the breathing, which is considered the thread between the poses that melds the mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
So when you think of yoga, how does it really vary from other, quote, exercise? It's very often the breath and this mind-body connection coming together. So you're more aware of where your body is in space, You're more aware of sensation and what does sensation feel like in your body.
Okay.
Some people with conditions such as MS say, well, I can't feel my feet.
Right.
Well, you can, but maybe not in the same way you did before. And we help them by pressing their feet down into the earth, by really connecting inward.
Interesting. I like that. You mentioned somewhere, I think in something I read, your philosophy is informed with humor and heart. What does that mean?
People really catch on to that.
Yeah.
You'll find that we have fun. Adaptive yoga is about creativity, and it's about play.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Happy Baby Pose, but
Yes,
how could
I
anyone
did.
possibly...
I opened the book to that, and I was like, and so whoever's picture it was laughing. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun in our classes, and I hope that readers who try this will have fun too and not take it so seriously.
Yes, exactly.
It makes you want to go back to it and do more.
Right. Right, because a lot of people look at exercise as, oh, humdrum, boo-hoo, I don't want to do it,
We do a lot of laughing. We know that that's healing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know what? It takes some
anyone.
rigidity out of the body, from spasms or, tight hamstrings. When you laugh, you breathe and you loosen up just by very nature.
Sometimes when I laugh, I get into one of those laughing fits
And you
where I
can't
can't stop, and I just feel so good afterwards, like my cares have been lifted, and I think that's a wonderful
It's
thing.
a very, very significant ingredient,
life?
to be playful.
Oh, to be playful.
Well, to be,
yeah.
on and off the yoga mat.
Right.
Doing yoga and not doing yoga. That's, our students walk out or they leave the class saying they feel so much better. I don't think it's just the poses.
Right. No, I think you're right.
It's the whole formula.
It's the whole
It's the
formula.
recipe. So you can kind of look at this like it's a cookbook.
Yes. That's interesting. I like that. So, MS patients can cope. How do they cope with pain through yoga?
That's interesting that you're picking up on that, because pain is something we spend a lot of time on. And so there are multiple techniques for that. One of them is just breathing.
Yeah.
And when you're in pain, the person in pain tends to, what do? I got to get out of here.
They grimace.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's called the fight or flight mode. So yoga helps us trigger that parasympathetic nervous system, which is triggering the relaxation response.
Yeah.
And so what we help people do is learn how to tune into that relaxation response. And there's a number of different strategies. For instance, mindful techniques have you focus in on the area of pain versus running from it, and then perhaps focusing on another part of the body where it's not in pain. Okay. And kind of going back and forth with that and watching your response to that.
Okay.
So observing without judgment.
Right.
And learning to have some compassion for yourself is
Right.
really critical to this.
Yes. Yeah. Not coming down so hard on yourself. Right? Yeah. I agree. Tell us about chair yoga.
Chair yoga is a significant part. So, the same pose. Warrior can be done standing. It can be done in a chair.
Let's see the book again.
You want to see warrior pose? Or even here's tree pose, right?
Okay.
So here we call this yoga with a chair.
Okay.
She's standing here holding onto the chair for balance.
Right.
She is sitting in the chair doing tree pose.
Okay, can you see that through the camera? I'm not sure if you can. Let's turn.
And this
turn
one,
a little bit here.
this
Okay.
one, she has her foot on the chair
Okay.
and she's against a wall for balance.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it's yoga with a chair. Sometimes it's seated.
Right.
So a traditional pose a lot of people know is cat-cow pose. Have you heard of that one?
I have. Yeah.
So cat-cow, someone said to me yesterday, I think he was a physical therapist, well, how do you do cat-cow in the chair? Well, you can do cat-cow in the chair. And we'll find that. And you can get the same benefits because you're stretching your spine both ways.
Oh,
Okay,
there we
so
go.
here we are.
Okay, so turn it towards the camera. Thank you.
So cat pose is more like a forward bend, so it's stretching the back of the body.
Yes.
And then cow pose is more of like a little back bend, so it's stretching the front of the body.
I want to do it as
I
you're
know.
speaking, right? Yeah,
Right. So it's rounding this way and
Yes.
then rounding that way.
Right.
You can do it seated. You can do it on the floor. So traditional cat and cow, I'll show you a picture of that. That's chair pose. So that's chair pose with a chair. Yeah. Pages are sticking together here. Here she is on the floor. And that's cat pose, rounding it one way, and cow curving the other way. And that feels really good. You know, if you're sitting at your desk in a chair, but you need a little computer break,
Yes.
cat-cow in the chair is a fantastic, just quick movement that just helps your spine
Right.
move the arches in your spine, the curves in your spine, the opposite direction they're used to moving.
Right. It gets rid of the rigidity a little bit.
Exactly.
Right.
We sit and we don't move and we don't even notice that. So
You
just
know,
adding a little bit
that's
of
what I do.
wave-like
Yes.
flow in together with inhaling and exhaling.
Right. Wow, that's great. Well, okay, show us the front of the book again and tell us how we can order the book.
So you can order the book on our website, which is called yogamovesms.org.
yogamovesms.org.
It is also on Amazon.
Okay.
And we are now starting to release a video each week or each month, and there's sequences in the back of the book.
Oh.
So for each of these sequences, there'll be a flow, a video that matches the sequence in the book.
Very good.
So then people have, well, I can't do this, I can't remember, or they just want to see examples. They'll be able to see it visually on a screen or in the book.
Okay. That's great. Well, Mindy Eisenberg, it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste to you too. Thanks.